Hello everyone, and welcome to the Influencer Barbie channel. We have Miss Barbie Roberts, and I am Barbie's assistant. My name is Beverly, and I am an adult Barbie enthusiast. Welcome to our Barbieverse. We create content for people who love all things Barbie as much as we do. Now, I've had some of these Miniverse Make It Mini capsules here in the Barbie studio for a while, and I thought now would be a good time to open them up and see what we ended up getting. And once I recently discovered a few months ago that the MGA Miniverse will sometimes have pinholes or pencil marks somewhere on the capsule that will tell you what you might be getting inside. And since I discovered that, I have been trying to narrow in on the items from the different collections that I would really like to get. And so we'll see if the guides are correct and and whether I was able to decipher them correctly and get what I think I have here. And I will put a link to a website that I have found useful, and that is Mini Mo. I'll put a link to that up here. So I encourage you to support them if you enjoy collecting MGA Miniverse and Zuru and other collectible capsule items. So let's go ahead and open up the first one. I have two of the Make It Mini Diner capsules, and I have one of the MGA Miniverse Make It Mini Hello Kitty and Friends. I want to say this is series 3, and it's mostly stationery and office supply type items, and so we'll take a look at that. I usually get these at my local Walmart, and they don't always have a great selection of the different collections to begin with, and probably other people have discovered that MGA has the little codes, so sometimes I will find myself going through an entire box of the different capsules looking for the things that I want and not finding them, so I imagine that other people are looking for their favorites as well. But check out Mini Mo to try to find your favorite items, and let's go ahead and open those up. So this first one that I have, let me see if I can remember where, oh yes, up here. This collection, this series, the pinholes seem to be up here across where it says Make It Mini. So this one here is right above the A. And if I am correct, this should be the Harvest Salad. So let's go ahead and open up our capsule and see if we got lucky. There it is. And I am using my tool here today, and just as a reminder to always have adult supervision if you are using sharp objects. So for this collection, we're getting a yellow capsule. Open that up. Let's see, sometimes the collector's guide will reveal to you what we're getting. So, and I spot that there, so I'm going to try to set that aside so that we don't see what we're getting, right off at least. And here is the table, the display stand actually. It's not really a table. And I think that I am correct here because we do have this little bowl here. I love the tissue paper that we get in these Miniverse sets. and I'm really going to have to figure out some crafts to do with these. Although this has been kind of ruined by the little recycling symbol on there. At least they fit it into the pattern nicely. So we've got a cute little kind of pansy-shaped bowl here with a faux wood grain to it. So since I think that I did get what I think this is, let's go ahead and we'll take a look at the collector's guide. We've got a little placemat that says, "A veggie good day." The information about resins and other things. Okay, so this one says, "Download free game and scan recipe card." So, okay, so it looks like this particular collector's guide does not reveal what we're getting in this particular capsule. But here are some of the items that we could get. The rainbow-shaped ice, berry cream puffs, brick toast, panda sundaes, this dinosaur ice cream taco. We did get the dinosaur tacos in the birthday collection, and I was looking to find this one just to continue with our dinosaur theme for Chelsea and paleontologist Barbie. And so here's the harvest salad. So we'll come back and look at this in a bit. We have meatloaf leftovers. So I guess this is the meatloaf that you brought home from the diner and put it into your containers, because otherwise why would the diner be serving leftovers? And we have the tofu pad thai. So let's take a look at some of the other items that we got here. This bag says, "Stay sweet." I love the bags. They're always so cute. And so pecans and cranberries. I want to see how adorably cute they look, but I'm afraid that if I open up this package, we will lose our pecans and cranberries, as well as damage the bag. I love these nutritional labels that they have. It says 100% happy, and we've got a little barcode there. And a container of goat cheese from Happy Sun Creamery. This bag says, "Ready for a picnic." Okay, I was having a little trouble reading that one. And so we have our bag of kale. I just love the ingredients that we get with the MGA Miniverse. And then we have some apple slices and tiny little cheese cubes. I love the ingredients so much. I always hate putting the items together because the ingredients are so cute. And this bag of kale and the goat cheese and everything will look so cute in Barbie's refrigerator. And here we have a bottle of berry vinaigrette. So this would be our resin. It's a really nice bottle there. And then this bag, and that bag said chill out. This bag here with the utensils on it. These are our tools. So we have the usual cloche topper and tweezers. And I really need to figure out a craft to do with the tweezers and other things that we get. We get a nice little fork here. It'd be nice if MGA were to give us a complete set of cutlery, because it seems as though we either get a spoon or a fork or a knife, but never all three. Let's take a look at this thing. I think this is new for this series. And so we have a little card that says Harvest Salad. And doesn't seem to open or anything. Okay. And we don't, I was expecting that we'd get the QR code. Okay, so I guess maybe it's a hidden QR code on that. Okay, I'm not certain how we're supposed to use that. I was thinking maybe it opened up and the QR code was on the inside. So we'll have to investigate that a little bit further. Alright, let's open up our next diner capsule. And if I'm correct, this should be our meatloaf leftovers. And like I said, I'm not certain why you would have leftovers at the diner. Here's our little pinhole over the E. So I'm guessing that the leftovers are what you brought home from the diner. Here it is. Here we go. And I didn't show you, when you put the little display table together, the inside of the capsules have this little circle inside, and so what you are supposed to do is put the display stand in the bottom of the capsule, and then you can put the topper on, and then put your little cloche topper in the hole on top to give you a little handle to work with. And so that's how you're supposed to display these once you put your recipe together. So we have another one of these little envelopes, and since we know that the card inside shows you what it is, we won't open that up. And, okay, so we have a placemat that says, "What's for dinner?" And we have little labels, meatloaf, mashed potatoes, broccoli, so I would say we definitely did get the meatloaf leftovers. That will be really cute. And the Barbie kitchen. A nice little plate there. Another bag that says "Chill Out." So here's our resin. It says Snacky Snacks Company, It's All Gravy. And if you don't like using resin, there's the bag that says ready for a picnic. You can use glue, either white glue or clear glue, or even hot glue works well. Look at those adorable little broccolis. This is why I wanted to get this capsule. It was just for the broccoli. And here is our meatloaf. We're going to have to open those up. So you can use white glue or clear glue. And so stay sweet. And add a little bit of marker or paint to give it some color. And this must be our mashed potatoes. Okay, so you can actually work with those. So we get a spoon with this one, and our tweezers and close topper, and we get a fork too, so yay. So let's take a look at our card here. Meatloaf leftovers. And we'll carefully open up these containers. Again, always be sure to have adult supervision when using sharp objects. Here's our meatloaf. Not much texture on the actual slices, but when it was all together, we've got a pretty nice little loaf of meatloaf. That is so cute. I love these little containers. I think maybe you might want to put a tiny little dot of glue or something to hold those together if you're going to have it out of the leftover containers. And let's look at the broccoli next. Those are just so adorable. Really nicely detailed. And obviously Barbie and the rest of the Roberts family enjoy eating their vegetables. Before I take a look at the mashed potatoes, I want to see if I am correct in this. Okay, so it shows that you spoon the mashed potatoes out of the container and onto your plate. So, and so I'm guessing this is sort of a kinetic sand, so that way it wouldn't dry out. So that's really nice for the mashed potatoes. I really like these leftovers here. And I like the fact that we get the labels for the containers. The Roberts family are very organized with their leftovers. In my household, the leftovers definitely do not get labeled that nicely. Okay, so that's our 2 diner capsules. Let's take a look at the Hello Kitty and Friends capsule. There we go. And let's see, so for this series, I just got a little pencil mark here rather than any pinholes, so I'm hoping that I am correct with this one and that it is the Cinema Roll stamp and washi tape set. But if it's not, this is Hello Kitty, so I'm certain that it will be absolutely adorable no matter which character we end up getting. I like the fact that MGA has paired up with Hello Kitty for this collection. Well, for all of these Hello Kitty collections. This is just really making my 10-year-old self ecstatic with these. So for this one, okay, so it seems like the capsule sits like this and then opens up. So let's take a look at it. There we go. So here is our tissue paper with the different characters. And it does have Cinema Roll on it, and it is a little sort of caboodle type container, which I really wanted this just for the caboodle, if for nothing else. And we have a little tray that comes out, and a little organizer, and a crafting mat with Cinema Roll on it, and our instructions for the resin and stuff. And here is everything else. And so we get the tape dispenser, and then the rolls, the plastic rolls that go inside the tape dispenser, those are separate from our actual rolls of washi tape. And that bag is so cute. I hate to take these out of their packages. They're so cute. Try to open this without damaging the box. Here we go. And here are our little stamps and ink pad. So here's our little ink pad here with a little Cinema Roll on it, and it's sealed in plastic, so that's probably a good thing, so then our stamp does not get dried out. Our stamp pad. And a little stamper with Cinema Roll on it, and then stamp there, and a pink one, Cinema Roll. Oh, and this has little stars on it. That is so cute. I want to assemble this little tape dispenser and the rolls on it, but that is just so cute in the packaging. I don't want to take it apart. Let's take a look at the rest of the capsule here. It looks like there's something on the inside. Oh, that's cute. So we've got a little topper and our collector's guide. So this is nice the way they've done it. In the previous series, you would slide the little piece of plastic in. So this one has a little flip top to it. Although I kind of wish that this texture here was on the top part. And that comes out too. So wedge it back in. There we go. Okay, so here's our little collector's guide for this series. There were 8 things to collect. There were the Hello Kitty pencils and erasers, Kuromi pencils and erasers, a little cinema roll notebook and pencil, and a little pencil box here, the My Melody notebook, and I guess this was glue here. Here's our cinema roll, stamps and washi tape, and then there was also Pom Pom Purin. I really liked the blue color for this one, so that's the reason why I wanted to get that particular one. The Potoko, I think is how that's pronounced. Little stationery set here, and there were these adorable little paper clips. I would have liked to have gotten that one. And the Karopi set, and that one also has the little paper clips to it. And so, okay, so we have instructions on how we're supposed to do this cinema roll set. Here, we put our washi tape on the plastic rolls, and we can take apart the tape dispenser, put that in there, and then how we use the stampers and the stamp pad, and then everything can go into our little caboodle type of carrying case. Okay, and here's how we put together our display case. So we just put our cinema roll topper, looks like, okay, so we seem to have little holes here. See if I can do this without knocking everything over. I should have done this before I put everything in here. Okay, I had to wrestle with that a little bit to get both sides in correctly. But that's really cute the way that is designed to be, and you've got sort of a little carrying handle with cinema roll on it. I absolutely love this little caboodle style carrying case. It seems like that might be a little bit large for Barbie, but she can have it on her desk, so we wouldn't have to worry about the scale for it. So I really like everything that we got here today. Our harvest salad with the kale. And we should open up this goat cheese. I want to see if the goat cheese is in little dollops, like we have sometimes with the whipped cream and stuff. It does say there's curing time, but that may just be for the vinaigrette, so let's take a look at it. I want to see. Okay, let's take a peek. Okay, now sure, this is sort of a little sort of sandy or crystalline type thing, so I probably shouldn't have opened that up. It does kind of look like goat cheese. I was just hoping that maybe it was sort of like the whipped cream dollops that we get where they're pre-formed. So we'll try very carefully to not make a mess with our goat cheese. Alright, so let us know in the comments below which of these items you enjoyed the most, and if you collected anything from the Diner collection or from this particular Hello Kitty series with the stationery and office supply type items here, and which were your favorites? Which did you get? I can hardly wait to put these leftovers into the Barbie refrigerator, as well as this kale. The broccoli is absolutely adorable, and this is the cinnamon roll stamper set is going to look really cute on Barbie's desk once we get the Barbie house put together with all the different rooms. So let us know in the comments below, and thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to be part of our Barbieverse. And be sure to ring the notification bell. It really does help our channel to grow. And once we hit some subscriber milestones, we plan to have some fun giveaways. And if you would like a chance of getting a shout out in an upcoming video, just comment below with the hashtag InfluencerBarbie. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you in our next episode here in our Barbieverse. Bye-bye!